Well, so glad everybody was able to make it. We're really excited to share with you what we have today. We want to talk about event software. So we've MeetingPulse, we've been around for a while, but as we've continually developed our features, we've really found that this event space is a really great space where there isn't a great solution for what we offer. So excited to talk with you all today. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on MeetingPulse, and then I'm going to hand it off to my colleague Tara, who's going to talk a little bit about these 7 ways we're able to help with events. So MeetingPulse is designed to engage meeting participants, allowing them to ask questions, answer polls, really participate in the meeting rather than just passively listen to what's going on. We have all kinds of features that help build that shared understanding. You can track and report on who was there, who participated after the fact. But it's a really great way to drive value for your organization, and especially for organizations that we work with that are international. There's a lot of features that can help facilitate communication where people don't necessarily share the same language. You can see just a few of the clients that we work with. Obviously, we work with organizations of all shapes and sizes, but we like to highlight the big ones because you know that they put us through a rigorous vetting process, security requirements, all those types of things. So if we're okay with the Microsoft and the Department of Defense, we can probably figure out a way to work with your organization as well. So some of the touch points that MeetingPulse offers, we like to talk about the before, after, and during of any given event. So pre-invitation surveys, materials, what do I need to bring, those types of things that are available beforehand, as well as lead capture, production displays when you're there, a downstage monitor for the speaker, Q&A with moderation so that the speaker's not up there trying to sort through the questions and figure out which they want to answer. Sentiment analysis, this is one that I really like, where people with the pulse functionality can put in a smiley face, I don't agree, I'm confused, to give you quick feedback where you can check and see how people were feeling at different points during the presentation. And then lots of other ways to be interactive as well, a chat, photos, quizzes, leaderboards, raffles. I know sometimes the quiz sounds silly and takes everybody back to school, but you do that and you put it up there and you start to see a leaderboard and people start to get really invested in the presentation and knowing the answer to those questions. And I alluded to this a little bit on the last one, but you can see we have multiple different views within the MeetingPulse functionality so that the presenter can see what they need to see. We can broadcast on the big screen for all the participants as well as with a QR code to let everybody join. And then over there on the right, you can see what the attendee sees. And the great thing is it's not an app. It's so easy for everybody to join. They just scan the QR code and they're there in their phone. And people are tempted to use their phones anyway. So now we're creating another way for them to engage where they have their other device open and are participating in the actual presentation. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to my colleague Tara here.
Thank you, Brenner. Thanks for that great introduction to the MeetingPulse platform. So now I'm going to talk specifically about 7 ways, and there are many ways, this is just 7 of them, that associations can use the MeetingPulse platform to engage their membership, to streamline what the members participate in, and to save money. So hopefully you'll see some exciting things to get you interested in how you could use the platform for your membership-driven organization. Number 1, you want to start with pre-event communication. You want to make sure that you are understanding what the membership is expecting and you're engaging them with what's going to happen at the event beforehand. And one of the best ways to do that is with surveys. Many of us are familiar with surveys, but this is a key component of the MeetingPulse platform because surveys leverages our forms technology and allows you to understand through data collection any type of data point you'd like to get from your membership. So you can use that for metrics, for understanding how they'd like to engage, or for collecting things like the food or the dietary restrictions, or how people are getting to the event, what their transportation needs are. So there are a variety of ways to use surveys to make sure that before the event, you're communicating well. Number 2, this is key. You want to provide all of those necessary information pieces for the membership at the event: documents, links, web pages, and more. You do that on MeetingPulse with a repository. We call it materials. You can name this anything you'd like in your version of the MeetingPulse app. So the materials section has a way for you to include PDFs and other types of files, but it also has ways for you to have links to your website, to other websites, to sponsor websites, and then you can even build your own pages using lightweight HTML in the MeetingPulse platform. So if you would like to build speaker pages, sponsor pages, maps, you'd like to have instructions, terms and conditions, all of those things that are key communication elements that you need the membership to know before, during, or after that event are available to you using materials. And it's as easy as clicking a little eyeball to turn them on or off. So if you want the deck from the general session day 1 to appear in the material section after that session is over, you can click a little eyeball and it will appear there for your membership as soon as you would like it to. Next, it's really getting input on not only the content for your event and what people would like and need to learn for their continuing professional education, but it's getting input on the agenda. And one of the ways you can do that is to use our agenda module. We have 2 modules that help you with understanding and creating your run of show or agenda. Number 1 is the agenda module, which you use to crowdsource or ask your membership, what should we have in this year's event? And you do that before the event. So they submit ideas. They're able to upvote those ideas. They're able to comment on ideas submitted. So it really is a crowdsourcing of what's important to them at this juncture for your annual meeting or other type of event. You can then use the schedule feature. So you are using the MeetingPulse platform as a full conference app. That schedule is the actual sessions that are derived from your agenda or from all the brainstorming around sessions and content. And in that schedule area, you're going to put your session, your speaker, the description, and then the time. You can also set capacity, meaning that you can make sure you have enough seats in the room to suit that session. You can set that capacity down as low as 1 so that you now have the ability to have one-to-one appointments. Number 4, you want to get them excited as soon as they get in the room. There's often music and fun things happening in the room as people come into those general sessions or breakouts. Sometimes there's just dead silence and it seems a little bit heavy. Why not get people excited with a poll as soon as they walk in? They can scan the QR code and they can answer a poll that the results are displayed as a word cloud in, or you can use any number of our types of polling and voting. We have over 11 types of polling on the MeetingPulse platform that you can display in any number of ways. But using this as people enter a room, and then, of course, throughout the session, really gets them engaged and excited about the content and really participating wholeheartedly in that event and session. You can see we have many ways to engage during the session, including the voting and polling and Q&A. Our Q&A is very comprehensive. That Q&A includes the ability to have a moderator, filtering, all sorts of ways that you can manage the questions and highlight them on the big screen as they come in. Number 5, as Brenner mentioned, we have a great pulse feature. That is your actual sentiment capture during the event. So these emojis, you can have up to 9 emojis. You can decide what that emoji stands for. We have a whole library of them. And then as sessions are conducted, your participants are hitting that emoji in the app to tell the speaker and you as the organizer what's hitting home with them or how they're feeling. All of this data is collected in the reporting so that you can actually analyze how engaged your audience was, where they had questions, and how successful those speakers were throughout the event. Next is to facilitate peer exchange. This is critically important. Many people go to an annual meeting for an association because they are looking to exchange ideas, to get input, and to connect with peers that they see year after year. Why not facilitate better ways to do that with brainstorming and ideation? We have a module just for that. Those table topics you have at lunch, you can use the same MeetingPulse app to have people collect ideas, to upvote ideas, to rate ideas, to brainstorm. It's a great way to keep a thread of sort of innovation at your event. And lastly, keep the excitement with a little competition. We all know there's lots of gamification out there, but you can have more than just a leaderboard of people who did a bunch of stuff in the app. You can actually start with a quiz. How much do they remember from the sessions? What was hitting home? And with those quizzes, you can have them go directly to leaderboards. Those leaderboards can be separated out by region, by specialty, by role, by team. So you have lots of ways to understand how people are doing on the quizzes and doing with the other tasks that they're completing in the app. And you can use those quizzes and leaderboards to actually conduct raffles. So those raffles are done automatically using the MeetingPulse system. Everybody has a digital raffle ticket that they can use to win when they opt into the raffle. And we do have some additional features and services, just so you know how sort of broad and powerful the MeetingPulse platform is. We have other modules that we didn't talk about here in specifics, but forms, an announcement where you can send an announcement over the MeetingPulse app. Our activity feed, which is great for events where there's a group chat going on that includes images and the ability to react via emoji. And of course, our photo gallery. Most people love to document where they went to dinner, who they connected with, what they saw in a session or in another activity at your event, and photos lets you do that in a great way. Our broadcast display gives your production team a lot of flexibility to display all of the results from your polling and response on the big screen. It makes it more exciting as people respond in their device. That could be a phone or a tablet or even a laptop. But the broadcast display really is where you highlight what you want them to see at any given time. As Brenner noted, we have QR codes with every single meeting. That is automatic. You can use those around your venue for digital signage, on documents or on handouts, wherever you'd like to get people in to respond to different components of the meeting. There's a kiosk mode. You can use a tablet and put this outside of your general session and do an NPS score when you come out of a session or some other type of poll or vote for an automatic response that uses a tablet. And then we have some examples of the way you can use the platform for different types of events. Firstly, we offer on-site services. This is a lot of interaction, and sometimes association organizers would like a team to come in and help guide that with the production team. We certainly do that by liaising and managing that production team for you in terms of what's shown on the big screen and available at any given time in your run of show for those participants. But you can use the MeetingPulse platform for more than just a conference app. You can use it for trade shows and expos, giving each sponsor or exhibitor their own meeting, and they could use a lead form with the QR code. They can use raffles and any other type of item that is really going to help them draw leads from that event. You can also use it for sales kickoff, your own sales meetings, so that you can do more team building, you can do more quizzing, training, all of the things that's important to sales teams. And then if you have a launch, or you're doing a road show, MeetingPulse is the ideal app to utilize because, again, there is no download. It's all web-based. So scanning that QR code anywhere you're doing an activation or launch is very convenient. And are you running a customer insight program or a member insight program where you're actually having them beta test a new association management system or a new member management system? You can actually collect feedback at any given touch point for any new program that you're doing through MeetingPulse. So that was a quick run through. Brenner, do you have any final comments for our audience here?
No, I think it was great to have you all join us. Happy to talk with you more. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. But thank you so much for your time with us today, and we'll send over those slides as well.
Thank you, everyone.